Identity theft. Now, when you think of identity theft, you most likely think of protecting yourself, not your kids or your grandkids. But it turns out children are 51 times more likely than an adult to have their Social Security number stolen. John Sileo is a data privacy expert and founder of ThinkLikeASpy.com. John, thanks for helping us out here. It's a fascinating topic. You say that kids are very likely to be stung. Why is that?
Well, think about it. Kids have pristine credit. It's never been touched.
But they don't have any credit, do they?
Well, here's what they do. They build it, they plant a seed, and they cultivate it over years. They've got 10 or 15 years to utilize this, so they have plenty of time to build it up.
So the kids have the building blocks of a credit score, which would be a Social Security, a name, maybe a birth certificate. And so these thieves come in and they take this information and they build a whole credit history around it, right?
They do, and then they go out and utilize it. And of course, think of it. Are you and I monitoring our kids' credit actively? Probably not.
No, nobody thinks of that. So how would I know that this is even happening?
Well, that's the tough thing, Jerry, is it's very difficult for us to know that it is happening. Sometimes kids go 10, 12 years before their parents figure it out. The number one sign is that they get a credit card application in the mail, or there's creditors, or even law enforcement coming after them. It's just an outrage.
You know, I've heard of dogs getting credit card offers in the mail. I mean, seriously, it's so out of control. So here's your list. You get mailings, bills, collection notices in the mail for your child. The child has trouble opening a savings account, which should be easy peasy. What about credit score and bureau header? What does that mean?
So when a credit file is established for a child because they have nothing, that means that they now have something. If there is any credit there on your child, even a header file, which means their name, their date of birth, you need to investigate. There's something wrong. Wow.
Okay. Look, you know, 51 times more likely. That's the number I read in the opening here. But really, how common is it?
Okay, so in that Carnegie Mellon study that you're citing, they looked at 40,000 child identities. That's a lot. 10.2% of those had already been affected by identity theft. It's incredibly common, and you know, it makes me wonder when, as parents and as a community, are we going to be outraged enough to actually do something and legislate?
Well, it's a nightmare. You say the child's financial life would be over before it starts. Their credit would be ruined, and as we know, fixing your credit can be a multiple-year extravaganza, right?
Yeah, you know, identity theft is the gift that keeps on giving. In my case, it was 6, 7 years ago. I still fight it on a monthly basis. So yes, once you have it, that's why it's so important. Don't try and recover from it, just prevent it.
Tell me how a child could suffer over time.
Oh gosh, yeah, you get ready to go to college and now you've been earning money, so to speak, all these years. Maybe an undocumented worker has been using your Social Security number. So you've been earning money and you go to get financial aid at credit. You've got an earning history there. You don't get the financial aid. You go for an apartment, you have bad, totally destroyed credit. You go to get a job, they do a background check, you've got a criminal history. You go into the hospital and they've been using your medical identity, you've got a different blood type. I mean, it's insidious.
That is insidious and shocking, and I'm amazed. John, if you could tell parents one thing tonight, what would it be?
Number one thing is very common sense, which is beware what you share. Simply think of your child's privacy as a bank account. It starts full, and as you give that information away on your child, as they give it away on Facebook and social media, you're drawing that bank account down, and if you do it too quickly or too much, you're going to break the bank.
All right, beware what you share. That is the takeaway tonight. John, thank you. Appreciate your time tonight.
Always a pleasure, Jerry.